Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of TA with MK. My name is McKay. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a coin that has severely underperformed up to this point, this bull run. The question is it going to continue to do so, or is it a sleeping giant, so to speak, that maybe is just waiting to have its big move, later in the bull run? And that token or coin that we're going to be talking about in today's video, we're going to have to zoom in a little bit to see. It's actually going to end up being below me on your screen, and that is Algorand or Algo. We're going to do our best to give some price projections based on some possible position rankings of where it could or potentially could end up at the end of this bull run. And then obviously at the end of the video, I'm going to give my own personal projection of where I believe Algo, fits in when everything's all said and done and the smoke has settled. And if that sounds interesting to you, please remember to like and subscribe, and let's go. So first and foremost, what we need to do is gather a little bit of information on this token to apply it to my formula. So we're here on CoinGecko.com. Of course, I've looked up Algorand or Algo. And what we're looking for to add to the formula, or what we want to write down, is its current position rank, which at the time of making this video is position number 72. We also want to write down the circulating supply and the max supply or total supply. We want to see if there's a difference between the two, which typically there is. And if so, we'll need to do a little digging or investigating to find out, is there token unlocks coming up? Is there minting that goes on with this coin, or mining? We just want to get an idea what the circulating supply could potentially be at or around the time we might sell this coin, because obviously that circulating supply will affect its potential price and therefore affect its price projections. Now, admittedly, as I did a little digging and investigating on this coin, Algorand is one of the trickier coins, or at least it was for me, to kind of track down what amount of tokens could potentially be unlocked or added to the circulating supply. Because again, if we're back over here on CoinGecko.com, you can see that the total supply right now is exactly matches the circulating supply, which means what's total is all circulating. However, of course, there's still a couple more billion tokens that could potentially be added to that max supply. So I went over to this website, coinmarketcap.com, which is just another website you can look up tokens, and it has their tokenomics here. And if we zoom in, we can kind of see here what the distribution is, and down here below that, it bases it by the year. So if we were to project that crypto could peak sometime towards the end or the latter part of next year, we're going to go with this block here, follow it up to the top, and we can see that it falls, somewhere between where it's at now and probably like between 8.3 and 8.5, billion tokens. Another website we can come to is dropstab.com. We can scroll down here. It actually shows some unlock events coming up over the course of the rest of this year. It looks like 416,000, almost 417,000 algo are getting unlocked on these 5 different events. So basically what I did is I just took those, added it to it, kind of projected based on this chart again back here of what could potentially be unlocked. And what I decided to go with for today's formula is we're going to add a little bit to this current, circulating supply, and we're going to go with 8.3 billion. I still think that's, on the conservative side. However, I think it's a good number to go with to give us some possible projections for this bull run. Okie dokie, next up, we're over here on my Google Sheets document. This is the entire point of the video, but for those of you that are new to the video, you're gonna be a little confused by what you're seeing here. It's just a bunch of colors and numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and play a 2-minute clip for you that's gonna explain to you, and you're gonna wanna watch it as far as what you're looking at here and how this formula works. For those of you that have been watching my price projection videos already to this point, use the chapters or timeline below to go ahead and skip forward. Let's go. What you're looking at right now is my Google Sheets document. I will leave a link in the description of every one of these price projection videos that I put out. Now, I have a full-length video that goes over exactly how I came up with all of this, but just to save those of you the time that probably won't watch that, let me just give you a brief explanation here quickly of how this works. First, what we have here is projected or hypothetical Bitcoin prices ranging between 91,000 and 180,000, and below that in green, we have projected total market caps for all of crypto. That would include Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the rest of the altcoins. Up here in a light brown color on the top left, we have projected dominance for each of Bitcoin and Ethereum. For those of you that are new to what that means, all it is in a nutshell is what percentage of the overall crypto market cap, or these total numbers, will Bitcoin and Ethereum actually take up themselves. Then just below the Bitcoin and Ethereum dominance, we have a total 3 projection, which will be the leftover percentage that would be divided amongst the rest of the altcoins not named Bitcoin and Ethereum. So it would be 35% of these each individual projected market caps that would be divided amongst all the rest of the altcoins. And then just below the green projected market caps for crypto based on those Bitcoin prices, we have the most important part of this video, which is these individual individual projected market caps for each position inside of the top 500, positions 3 through 500. And although not perfect, though nothing ever is when you're trying to project prices, the way that we came up with these is we just looked at the end of the last bull run when crypto peaked, and we looked at each individual position and figured out what the percentage of the overall crypto market cap at that time each position took up, which is what these represent here in orange. So then, of course, from there, we just applied that percentage to these overall crypto market cap projections, which then gave us projected market caps for each of these individual position ranks. Whew, all right, big breath. And then last but not least, if we go over here to formulas, all we have to do is take one of those projected market caps, divide it by the circulating supply of the coin, or the projected circulating supply of the coin at the time you plan to sell, and that'll give you a price projection for that coin. That would, of course, give you a projected price based on ranking. Just below that, you could actually give a projected ranking based on price. You could have a price target for your coin, times that by the circulating supply, which would, of course, give you a market cap, which you could then compare over here on the chart and figure out what ranking would likely need to be possible for your coin to reach that price. Alrighty, what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and do the math for the formula on the first one for you, the first price projection that is. That way you can see how I'm doing this, and then I'll just present some data of some other possibilities of position rankings for Algorand based on Bitcoin prices and so forth after that. So if we look here on my chart at position number 72, which is where it's at right now, we can scroll over here and see my first projected market cap of 3.1 billion. Now that's based on 91K Bitcoin. If you scroll back up here, actually, you'll be able to see that 91K Bitcoin. Again, position number 73 down here. 3.1 billion. So we're going to type in 3.1 billion, and we're actually going to divide that by the 8.3 billion, which was the circulating supply that we just came up with, and that's going to give us our first projected price of about 37 cents. Now we're going to go ahead and give you some different scenarios for Algorand. And what I mean by scenarios is possible position ranks it could end up, and then, of course, based on what Bitcoin does, I'll have price projections. Now, as we go through these, you can see here, for example, this rank number 72, I give 5 different price projections based on 5 different Bitcoin prices, as well as market cap projections. I'm not going to read each of those off as we go. You can pause the video, see those individually. What I'm going to read off is the average price of all 5, which will be based on 117K Bitcoin. Alrighty, so first off, if Algo stays put at rank number 72, we have an average price based on 117K Bitcoin of 48 cents. If we scroll down, I've listed what the price projections could be if Algo were to move up between position 41 and 50. So just kind of the average price between those different positions. Again, here's the different market cap projections. The average price we came up with there is about 88 cents, so almost double the last one at about 117K Bitcoin. And then last, we have, if it were to move up to position number 21 through 25, which is kind of the peak or max of what I could see it doing this bull run, or at least what it's done in the past anyways. And the average price we have for that is $1.93, so just under $2, again, based on 117K Bitcoin. I also want to quickly point out before we move on, for those of you that are bullish on Algorand, but are maybe a little disappointed to see some of these price projections, this is just what I think, basically, but at the end of the day, you know, if you're holding Algo, what you think is probably a lot more important than what I think, especially if you know the fundamentals of it and you believe in it. I just wanted to point out that the circulating supply back in 2021, when it saw its, peak price of like $3.71, was about 6.25 billion, so it was a couple billion less, which I just wanted to point out that the market cap when it reached its all-time high then was 23.12. And so the new price of 280 that I've listed here, this is what I'm showing here, is that in order for Algo, or if Algo were to have the same amount of money in it this bull run, which, hopefully you'd have more for those of you that are bullish on it, but basically, if it gets 23 billion in it again this bull run, the price is actually only going to hit $2.80 just because there's more coins in circulation. So then, just to quickly add to that, what I have listed here is just saying that that would be about a 32.85% increase from the previous market cap. Basically, what it would need is that kind of an increase in order to hit the same price as it did last bull run, which would actually come in at about 30.7 billion. Which, based on my projections, at least on here, let's just say Bitcoin hits 115K, I'm just giving you one example, then based on my, predictions or projections here, it would need to have Algo reach about position number 15 at 115K Bitcoin just to see it reach that same price as before of like $3.70. Or another scenario would be if Bitcoin hit 180K based on my formula, then it could still reach that same price of $3.70 just by being somewhere around position 20, maybe between position 20 and 25. And then even one more quick thing I wanted to add real quick, let's just say you were hoping for like a $7 Algo, which is almost a 2 2x, from its previous all-time high, something like that. What I have projected here, and this isn't really projected, this is what it would need to be based on the circulating supply that it's at now. You would need about a $58 billion market cap, which would be based on my formula, be about position number 10 at 115k BTC. So if you believe Algo could be a top 10 coin, or at least close to, then this is what you could expect. Or around position 15 at 180k BTC. And then just to put in perspective of the $58 billion market cap, if we come over here to CoinGecko.com and just kind of look at what the top 100 coins are at right now, let's just say you think everything from where we're at now will at least 2x, maybe 3x. Well, off 2x, you can see that position number 8 right now, XRP, is about a $30 billion market cap. If that were to double to 60, that's kind of what we're saying you would need Algo to be at in order to double its previous all-time high. So then you're looking at a top 10 coin, like I said, or if you think it was going to 3x all of crypto from this point, you could maybe go down here to between 10 and 11, something where Cardano or Toncoin or Ton is at right now. So hopefully that's kind of making sense what I'm saying as far as what it would take for Algo to, number one, hit its old all-time high price, and then if you're really bullish on it and hoping to like double that, this is kind of what the expectations would be. Alrighty, moving on, and sorry about that rant. Now we're over here on the TradingView chart. I just want to present that data for you so you can kind of see what the potential gains are on the chart itself. So if we zoom in here, the yellow line, position number 72, again, 117k Bitcoin. That 48 cents price from where we're at now would be about a 2.5x. My blue line up here, position 41 through 50, about 88 cents, which would be about a 4.5x. And then, of course, that max position that I had up here, position 21 through 25 at 117k Bitcoin, coming in at $1.93 from where we're at now at the time of making this video would actually be about a 10x. And now, finally, the moment that you've been waiting for. What is my personal price projection or prediction for the price of Algorand or Algo for this bull run? Well, if we zoom in here on my horizontal green line here on the chart, I have a prediction that it ends up around position 61 through 70. Now, granted, I don't know the fundamentals on this coin, inside and out, like a lot of people that, invest in this coin do. So this is obviously very, very conservative, just based on the fact that I have a lot of other coins that are newer with more hype potentially passing this up, and meaning that Algo kind of maybe gets left behind a bit. But before we read off this projection, I just want to point out that it's very important for you to understand that if you're bullish on this coin for different reasons, because you believe in the fundamentals, it's going to have its hype later in the bull run, and you expect it to end up, position 30, position 20, position 15, don't abandon that just because of my prediction, because at the end of the day, it's just my prediction. You can see based on my formula that you can apply what you think to it and come up with some reasonable price projections based on what you think versus what I think. But I have it ending somewhere between 61 and 70 at the end of the bull run. Around 117k Bitcoin was what this projected price was based on. And what we have is 55 cents, which at the time of making this video would be about a 3x. I did also want to quickly point out one other, possible scenario or prediction that I have as well. And this is that if Algo weren't to top at the same time as Bitcoin, which a lot of tokens are not going to do, they're either going to top before Bitcoin or after, as money kind of flows in and around the different altcoins. I could see a scenario where it were to get inside position 31 through 40. I forgot to write that here on the actual chart. But anyway, it spent a lot of the bear market hanging out around position 40. So let's just say it gets back to that at its peak, even if it doesn't end there based on my prediction. Let's say it gets there at least for a brief moment before having a retrace. In that case, we could see Algo topping at like $1.30-ish, which from where we're at now, that'd be like a 7x. And then from there, possibly retracing back and ending somewhere around, 50 cents when Bitcoin, tops. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you haven't already, please do me a favor and remember to like and subscribe. Also, if you're enjoying these price projection videos and you want to watch another one, there should be one popping up on your screen now, as well as my playlist in case you just want to search a specific video. As always, have a good day and remember to invest in yourself.